Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Do not mind me or the wind. Basically, it's like borderline storming, kind of. It was really storming 2 days ago and now it's gotten all windy. It was boiling hot yesterday and I just don't know what's happening. Because of that, I've got my dog walking hat on and I'm not ashamed to say that I did in fact go dog walking in public with my... It's like a knockoff hoodie. I've got an official one, but this is like a knockoff one. Stickers on it, it's a bit tatty, but you know what? Let's just move past it. So what I do want to say is I've actually got two different conversations to be talking about today. And are they like serious? Are they like really heavy topics? No, not really. The very first one particularly not really at all. Mostly just a bit of a discussion, just literally sharing what I saw. The very first one, Not Enough Nelsons, who I've covered a couple of times before. There was some content that she was posting about homeschooling that really had me itching to talk about. I did watch the videos and I was like, there are some things in here that I want to be talking about, because you guys must know by now that I have a thing about people taking their kids out of school to homeschool them but not really homeschooling them. Although in this case, I do actually think that they are homeschooling. So, you know, gold star to Tiffany, it does actually look like that is what they're doing. Family of Nomads, which I have spoken about before. There's a few different van life communities about, and I've spoken about 2 of them or 3 of them. I can't even remember. I've spoken about several of them now. I was going through a little like family van life binge watch, and I've watched a few of them. I should just set up like a van life playlist because I've talked about a couple of them. But the one I want to talk about is a Family of Nomads. The stories that the mum posted regarding her child who had like some sort of bad asthma attack, something about that. She's taking pictures in the emergency room, even though there's a sign that says no filming. She's basically, we're gonna get into it. There's just a few things on the stories. Tone this video down a little bit. I know the last video was a little bit intense. I do understand that. Even for my channel, I felt like there was a lot of frustration and needed to be let out. But now we're going to come together and just have a bit of a chat.
Wailing and gnashing of teeth around here trying to get them to do online. It's like I'm trying to figure out, I don't know, some kind of incentive for them to do it, because it's just like all day long I feel like I have to be asking them. I don't want to have to be asking anybody.
Very first stop is Not Enough Nelsons, and I was inquisitive as to what Tiffany meant by she's homeschooling her kids. And this is basically what she has to say.
Decision while I was getting ready. I am not going to be hard on myself about this. I'm going to give myself grace and give my kids grace. I'm not going to be hard on us that we've gone for a month and like I feel like we've only been successful, I don't know, 6 or 7 days. That's not good. Like I have to realize I need to be super flexible, that it's okay if like, you know, they get it a little done here and a little done there.
Now the reason why I found this video so interesting was because she basically is bribing her kids to do their homework, and I know that this is going to be such a split topic conversation. Some people might be for that, some people might be against it, so I'm not shaming her for wanting to basically put down incentives for her kids to do homework. Didn't want to go into school, and they've been doing this for, I think she said, a month, but they haven't been very successful at it. So Tiffany was trying to conjure up ways in order to get her kids to actually do their work.
You get 5 check marks because you go to school, homeschool full time. It makes it so that you can get the same prize as people that go to school get the A and they get $100 per A. So if you have all 5 check marks for all 12 weeks, you will get a prize of $500 to start out your summer. You'll have a part of it into savings, but the rest you'll get to spend on whatever you want.
And number 1 on the list was showing us all around their rooms, one of which was so unbelievably messy, and all I'm thinking of is like, this is so embarrassing for this child. Why are we showing like a child's room when it's like, obviously, I don't know. Tiffany was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not very good at this homeschooling stuff. I mean, I would be crap at it as well. That's not my forte. I wouldn't even bother trying it. So she's gonna give them all incentives. And at the end of the video, she shared with us how much of an incentive they're gonna get. And 2 of the girls were gonna get 500 and the boy was gonna get 300. Now, that is a lot of money for just doing what I personally think is just what kids should be doing anyway. I feel, and this is everyone, I want you guys to chime in. I don't want you guys thinking that I'm not going to listen to your opinions. Like, I want you guys to actually tell me what your opinions are of this, but just in my own opinion, I think things like anything to do with like homework and going to school and all of that shouldn't be rewarded by monetary gain. When you actually go out and you get a job and things, you're not always guaranteed to be rewarded for every single bit of work that you do, or even for progressing. Something that doesn't always work like that. And from my own experience of just, you know, and from my own observation of watching a lot of these YouTube families, and the same as with Not Enough Nelsons, they then start giving their kids platforms. So it almost feels like, well, we don't really have to, like, it feels like school sometimes, I'm not saying that's the case with these guys, but sometimes school is a complete afterthought. I find that with like FizFam or whatever they're called, school's a bit of an afterthought. So they're sort of like rushed through it, and a lot of them take their kids out to homeschool them, and kind of knowing that basically the backup is either the family channel or it's going to be creating their own brand, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, because it's so lucrative and they already have that like base foundation of being able to build an audience. That's just my own personal opinion on what I think goes on with quite a lot of these channels, hence the reason why a lot of them are just like, oh well, education, well, we'll just take our kids out. I'm talking like really big family, and it doesn't always happen, don't get me wrong, like I'm not being bitter, this doesn't always happen. I think the reason why there was a discrepancy, even though Tiffany the mum didn't say, but I read a few comments saying how come the girls got 2 and, you know, got more and the boy got less. In the second video that she came out with, where she actually said homeschooling is going better, she said that the one of the kids was basically only homeschooled 2 times a week, so that would make sense. She also says that her older kids, the ones who are in high school, they get given 100 quid for every A they get. Never got particularly very good grades, but whenever I did slightly better at school and I got a report card back that was slightly praising, because I was I hated school, hated it, I literally hated it. I came away with nothing. I somehow managed to get into university, somehow, you know, I found a way. I did that. Uni, loved everything else before it, hated it. And so whenever I did slightly better, and they weren't literally saying I was the worst student on the planet, my mum did used to like take me out for a nice meal or something like that, or, you know, just something a bit like that. So I kind of understand it, but the thing is that she's literally rewarding her kids for just doing basic stuff that they should be doing at school. I don't know. I know that that's going to be a completely like shifted opinion, and I fully appreciate that. Well, I'd share it with you because I haven't really ever heard of parents giving that large of an incentive to their kids. You know, and she did also say that some of that money goes into savings, so that I do appreciate. You know, I do appreciate that. I'm not saying that's like a bad thing or anything. It's good that she obviously is going to put money aside, and that all isn't just being given to the kids right then and there. So I always find it nice when I hear about other families who, if they have the means, because obviously not everyone does have the means, does put money aside for savings, because we all know how expensive things are and how much, as soon as you get to college, uni, finding a house, like anything like that costs so much. So it's good to have a little backup as soon as you are at an age to access it. I just felt like it was worth commenting on, so let me know how you feel about that. Take number 2, we got the family of nomads. Now, I was just doing like my usual Instagram thing where I just go on, just, you know, pressing, and then I just let them all roll. So if there's anything interesting, I'll be like, oh, what's going on over here? Clicked on family of nomads, and I think they were at this like festival or whatnot. It was on the family page. I think it was primarily run by the mum. And they're at this sort of like festival-y thing, and then it then cuts to this, and it was just the way that it was. So not only is she showing in detail like what is going on with her kid and the fact that they have got breathing difficulties, and then showed the results and that's only number 1. Number 2 is the fact that she then took a picture, I'm guessing, of the dad who is sat there on his phone, and then she's like highlighting the no phone thing, and I'm like, I don't understand. Why are you guys on your phones when it literally says don't use phones? It must be because there's like various different machines that it can tamper with. Usually that's the reason why in certain areas in hospitals you can't use your phones, because the signals, and I don't know how it works, I'm not a mobile tech, but certain things tamper with whatever. It's like, it's like pumps, you know, when you go to gas pumps, for instance. Around here, you're not allowed to use your phone, and I'm pretty sure it does something. I don't know what it does, but it does something. So she's highlighting that. And then number 3, she then puts out this, and the way that it's captioned, I feel like I didn't like the way it was captioned. And I didn't like the way it was captioned because she was like, you know, alluding to the fact that, you know, she had to miss, you know, oh, we had to miss the last little bit of the thing. It's just like, love, just be present, just put the phone down. The fact that you had to miss a band or whatever it was that you really wanted to see to make sure that your child's okay, just be happy that your child's okay. You didn't even have to mention that. I just don't really understand why that all came into it. Or even being present when you're actually in the room because you're documenting the whole experience. You can say that you're being as present as possible, but I just know from any experience in my life, when I'm 110% present on what is going on, I actually forget that I even have a phone. And in moments where it's like, you know, panic and is your child okay, or you have to take your child to an unexpected visit or whatever, you don't reach for Instagram. So I'm just not really quite sure why that even needed to be added in. It was just the little salt wound, the little salt wound rubbing salt on the wound, where she was like, oh, I had to I don't know, call me nitpicky all you want, but I took issue. I just felt like she was, I don't know, like, if you were a child, would you want to read about, you know, you having a scary incident in hospital, but it's annoying because, you know, your mum missed the band or whatever that they wanted to see? I think a lot of these influencers don't really think about the way that can be interpreted through their child's eyes. It's doubtful because it's an Instagram story that her child will ever actually see that. But if she carries on, and, you know, if parents carry on, you know, posting those kind of things, making, you know, it could make their child feel bad that they had like a, you know, completely out of their control health scare, and their mum was annoyed that she couldn't go and see the band. Like, I get it, I do get it, but maybe just keep those like thoughts and feelings to yourself a little bit, because like I say, if I was a child, I wouldn't want to read that about, I wouldn't want to read it because it would make me feel like I'd done something wrong when actually I hadn't. Maybe I'm just thinking too far into it, but yeah, I don't know, it didn't really sit right with me, and I just want to hear you guys' thoughts and feelings on it. That's basically it. I just wanted to keep it nice and brief. I have got a busy day today, a busy day tomorrow, and I'm hoping of getting some videos out, but if it doesn't happen, they'll be out in the next couple of days. But yeah, just bear with me. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video.